Today we're checking out the 50th anniversary deluxe reissue of Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here. This thing is massive. For many people, Dark Side of the Moon is their favorite Pink Floyd album. For others, it's The Wall. Personally, my favorite Pink Floyd album is Wish You Were Here. That's why I was absolutely pumped to check out this massive 50th anniversary edition. The set includes 4 LPs, 2 CDs, a Blu-ray audio disc, and a ton of bonus stuff. Some of the content was part of the 2011 immersion set, but there's plenty of new stuff here too. The set has a suggested retail price of $250 US, but I've seen it on sale for less. Of course, the question is, did Sony deliver the goods, and is this worth the hefty price tag? Gotta say off the top, the packaging is top notch. The black outer box mimics the iconic look of the original record, which came packaged in a black bag kind of thing, obscuring the cover art. First up here is the book. Tons of images here, as you can see, including shots of the band in the studio and performing live. I particularly dig the outtakes from the album cover photo sessions, which I'm gonna flip through really quickly here, but the book is very well done. At the back of the book are 3 discs, 2 CDs and the Blu-ray audio disc. The first CD is the original album, while the second CD features demos and outtakes. The third disc, the Blu-ray, has a ton of stuff on it, including the 2011 5.1 mix and a brand new Dolby Atmos mix. I was a little surprised the CDs did not come in dedicated sleeves like the Blu-ray does, but that's a minor point. Next up, the records. The printing quality on the jackets is very good, nice and crisp. The cardboard is a bit thinner than a regular record jacket, but the records are protected inside the big box, so I guess it's not a big deal. The inner sleeves also look good. Anti-static poly-lined inner sleeves would have been a treat, but I can add those later. All the records in this set are on clear vinyl. I'll talk about the pressing quality in a moment. There is an issue that I do need to mention. The next record, a Rarities disc, includes alternative versions of Have a Cigar and Wish You Were Here, an instrumental version of Shine On, and more. This third record is another album of rarities and demos. Side B features a new stereo mix of the full version of Shine On, You Crazy Diamond, combining all 9 parts. And finally, the fourth record, live at Wembley in 1974. The first side is Shine On, and the second side is You've Got to Be Crazy, which went on to become Dogs off of the Animals album. This last item is not a record, but rather a folder containing some cool bonus goodies. That includes a replica Japanese 7-inch single of Have a Cigar with Welcome to the Machine. This one is on black vinyl. Well, it looks pretty cool. There's also this large Nebworth poster. Am I saying that right? I'm not sure. This thing is big, so I can't get it all into frame. Finally, we get this amusing tour program in the form of a comic book. The cover says Super All-Action Music Program for Boys and Girls, and the price on here is a measly 15 pence, 1.5. All this stuff looks pretty good, man. Full marks for the physical package. Let's head into the music room and talk some more about this release.
Channel 33. RPM.
All right, here we are, and I just got this. So this is my initial first impressions. I'm still digesting everything that's in the box set. Let's talk about the main album first. So the record is not 180 grams, but it is flat and free of warps. And after listening to this a couple times, I can say overall the mastering is very good, and you get a nice wide soundstage. On the downside, I can hear some snap, crackle, and pop when I listen to the record. It's most noticeable and distracting on quieter passages like the intro to Wish You Were Here. I'm hearing a click, 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 a sound usually associated with a flaw in the record like a scratch or a blemish. That said, I don't see any obvious flaws on the record itself, but it's kind of hard to tell with clear vinyl. I have no idea if this is an issue with all copies or this particular one I have, but I did want to mention it. To be honest, that is really my only criticism of this entire set. There is some snap, crackle, and pop on the other albums in the box, but not as noticeable as with this main record. These 2 bonus albums are pretty cool. They call them Rarities. It includes demos, outtakes, and alternative mixes of a bunch of tracks. And the reason I like that kind of stuff is because these songs over the decades get so ingrained in your head, or my head anyway, so to hear different perspective is really interesting. That includes a 19-minute version of Shine On You Crazy Diamond. And hearing that, you realize what could have been if the song had not been split up on the original LP. So that was pretty cool. One of the highlights for me on here is a version of Wish You Were Here featuring jazz violinist Stefan Grappoli. That sounded pretty cool, man. I gotta say, for me, the highlight of this entire set is the Blu-ray audio disc. And if you don't want to buy the entire set, the Blu-ray audio disc can be purchased separately. It's got a bunch of stuff on here, including a brand new Dolby Atmos mix of the original album. I don't have an Atmos setup in my home theater, so I listened to it folded down to 5.1, but it still sounded good. There's a lot of bass, a lot of bottom end on the Atmos mix, which was rattling the walls in my basement. But in a good way, it did sound good. Despite that new mix on here, I did prefer the 2011 5.1 mix. And again, that could be because I don't have a proper Dolby Atmos setup. I don't know. In my notes here, I said the 5.1 is so encompassing. It literally puts you in the middle of the story. It uses all the channels to create a deep, immersive experience. And listening to it that way just reminded me of how tasty of a guitar player David Gilmour is. His leads are just so tasty and so perfect. You gotta love it. On here is also the 1976, I believe, quad mix, which is okay. I'm not a huge fan of quad. There's also the 1975 LA Sports Arena concert. I wish it was a professional recording. It's not, but it does sound better. It doesn't sound bad. It doesn't sound like someone, like a kid with like a micro cassette recorder in their pocket. It does sound a lot better than that, but it was a really interesting listen. So overall, man, the Blu-ray is my highlight. The packaging, Rarities, and the Blu-ray disc are all excellent. The only drawback is the surface noise on the original album, and specifically that pop, pop, pop during Wish You Were Here. Again, maybe that's just a my pressing, I don't know, but it was distracting. That said, overall, this is a cool set, man, with some extras like the official 1975 bootleg and the Atmos mix that were not on the 2011 immersion box. There's a lot to listen to here and a lot to like here, so in that respect, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. In fact, as soon as I'm done this video, I'm going to keep exploring this box set because there's, as I said, a ton of stuff to listen to here. All right, 33ers, Wish You Were Here is my favorite Pink Floyd album. What is yours? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. I will be back soon. Until then, keep on spinning.